in like the story of the game.
Like the story,
It's it's the 5th game in the Hitman series, and it's the most personal game for our main character so far. It's he is forced to kill his only friend and colleague at the beginning of the game, and for the rest of the game he's basically fulfilling her last wish. And so it's a personal story where 1847 and the player is driving the story forward instead of just being fed, you can say, these hits by his agency. So that's a way for us to create more kind of connection between the story and the player, and also allowing the game to have a more natural flow than just being hit after hit after hit as it was in the previous games. Well, it takes place after the last game, but it's not directly linked to the previous games. You don't have to know anything about Hitman to start playing this one. It's been very important for us that it feels like a story on its own. But for fans of the franchise, they know some of the characters, and they can see that we put some stuff in to tie the story back to some of the older games. Because as this is also a highly competitive mode, if someone is doing it better than you, you really want to know it, and you will get a notification that actually someone played your contract and they played it even better than you. Do you want to go back and try to do it better than him? Yeah. And in the studio of in IO, we also did Kane and Lynch, so we have experience with doing a traditional or a relatively traditional multiplayer. But we decided for this franchise, it doesn't really make sense, because it's all about the gameplay is so much about you against the AI and figuring out your own way of getting through this. So adding a multiplayer to this, it became something that we could not figure out how to do this to justice to the game, so to speak. While this is something that the fans have been doing for 10 years in the older Hitman games. They've been taking out, after they mastered the game and played through it probably 10 times, they started to say, okay, this guy over here, I want to make him a target, and I'll tell my friends if they can do it better than me. Mm-hmm. And this is basically giving all the tools to them, and they can do anything they want with the game. And you can always see on this particular part of the game, are your friends scoring better than you? Is in your country, who is the best player? And even in the world, you can see the best player in the world. In this part of the game, he has 1 million in score, and you have 10,000, and you might have no idea how he did it. But if you're interested, you can try to explore the level and find out how that is done. So, going into the pause menu, so this is the objectives, and on the score here you can see it's quite similar to the sniper challenge. And whatever you unlock will be if you get more score, and comparing your score to the average and the world. As you can see, this is not built out, as this is not there's not that many players, because it's only the people back in Copenhagen. There's not that many people in the world playing this, luckily. I mean, we still have time to fix stuff. And you might notice that the difficulty setting is also giving you a bonus. So if I play on normal, I will get 25% plus. If I play on harder difficulty, it will be a lot more. So if you want the best score, you also need to fulfill, like in the sniper challenge, all the different challenges of this particular part of the game. That will give you a permanent bonus for your score. That then, of course, everything will add up. So the more you explore and the more you complete the game, the bigger score you will get as well. As you can see on the top, there is like likes and dislikes and number of plays. So just like on YouTube or whatever else kind of social media, you can see the most popular contracts will kind of rise to the surface, and those will be the ones that are probably the best ones. And those are also the ones that we will choose to put in the story mode. So whoever's in the story mode and online, when they pause the game, they will see the contract popping up. And it might be your contract 1 week, because that was selected by the community, and the next week it might be yours because that was something that was more fun to play, or maybe it was just more crazy, that was more interesting. And that's when also, of course, this string becomes very important, because if you found it on your tablet and say, hey, this looks super cool, and my friends told me to play this, and then you can go back and punch it in here, and you will find that contract. I would love to. We cannot announce anything about it, but of course, for us as developer, a new platform is always interesting and might offer some unique possibilities with this crazy cool controller they have. So, but we have nothing. We cannot say. It could be. I mean, I haven't been able to look into it too much because every time I go to a trade show, I'm locked in an office like this for the entire show. I never get to play anything and try it out, but trying to read up on these new platforms, and it seems very interesting and unique at least. So I always love Nintendo. I mean, they always seem to do things that are different and that are bringing gaming forward, not just trying to copy someone else. I mean, with the Wii, I mean, nobody believed in the Wii, right? When they published the name, everyone was laughing at them, and then Wii Fit go on and sell what, like 40 million copies or something. It's like they know what they're doing, right? So it will be interesting to see.